Hello, everyone. Welcome to the market opening bell on Monday, September 22nd, your 10-minute guide to the stock market. US President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping held a phone call last Friday, with Trump stating the call was productive. China has preliminarily approved an agreement for the takeover of TikTok's US operations, and both parties plan to meet in South Korea next month, with Trump scheduled to visit China next year after the meeting. After all, three major U.S. stock indexes hit record highs on Thursday. They reached new peaks again on Friday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 172 points, a 0.4% gain at 46,315 points. The S&P 500 rose 32 points, or up 0.5% to 6,664 points. The Nasdaq gained 160 points, a 0.7% increase, closing at 22,631 points. The small cap Russell 2000 index fell 0.8% from its highs. The Nasdaq China Golden Dragon Index, which tracks Chinese stocks, dropped 21 points, or 0.3%, closing at 8,665 points. For the week, the S&P 500 and Dow Jones rose approximately 1.2% and 1% respectively, while the Nasdaq surged 2.2%. Among major tech stocks, Apple rose 3.2% following the global launch of its iPhone 17 series. Tesla gained 2.2%, Nvidia rose 0.2%, and Amazon increased 0.1%. Reports indicate Oracle is in discussions with Meta for a cloud computing deal worth approximately $20 billion US. According to sources, the multi-year contract would see Oracle provide computing power for Meta to train and deploy AI models. The final committed amount could increase, and terms may change before signing. Oracle surged over 4%, while Meta tipped 0.2%. Additionally, Meta, through its newly established subsidiary Atom Energy, applied to the U.S. Federal Energy Regulatory Commission (FERC) for authorization to sell electricity, capacity, and related services in the wholesale power market. A Meta spokesman stated that participating in the energy market helps ensure power supply amid rising energy demands. Industry observers believe Meta's entry into the power market marks a new step for tech companies in energy self-sufficiency and trading. Intel, which soared over 20% on Thursday, retreated 3.2% on Friday. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index fluctuated last Friday, opening 38 points higher, but briefly dipping 130 points to 26,414 before climbing 92 points to a high of 26,637. It closed nearly flat, up less than 1 point at 26,545. The X-share index rose 15 points, or 0.17%, to 9,472, and the Hang Seng Tech Index gained 23 points, or 0.4%, to 6,294. Total market turnover was 376.8 billion Hong Kong dollars. For the week, the Hang Seng Index rose 157 points, or 0.6%. The X-share index gained 1.1%, both marking two consecutive weeks of gains, while the tech index surged 5.1%, its seventh straight week of increases. Southbound funds net purchased 9.838 billion Hong Kong dollars in Hong Kong stocks last Friday, including net buys Shandong High Speed Holdings 2.24 billion, Alibaba 1.727 billion, Tracker Fund 1.07 billion, PopMart 901 million, Meituan 847 million, Hua Hong Semiconductor 237 million, and On High Precision 133 million. Net sales include Tencent 622 million, Xiaomi 398 million. Statistics show southbound funds have net bought Alibaba for 21 consecutive days, totaling $57.827 billion. Meituan for 5 consecutive days, totaling $5.747 billion. And net sold Tencent for 5 consecutive days, totaling $1.628 billion. Total southbound net inflows last week reached 36.85 billion compared to 60.822 billion the previous week. The Hang Seng Index company reported that over the past decade, southbound fund inflows via Stock Connect have risen over sixfold from 13.1 billion Hong Kong dollars in 2014 to 807.9 billion dollars in 2024. From January to September 12, 2025, southbound inflows reached 1072.9 billion dollars, 33% higher than the full year 2024 total, potentially setting a new annual record. The inclusion of ETFs in Stock Connect has provided mainland investors with more investment channels, driving record high southbound ETF trading volumes. Of the 17 eligible southbound ETFs, 13 track the Hang Seng Index series. Since the launch of Stock Connect in November 2014, mainland investors have become a significant force in Hong Kong stock market. Hong Kong EX data shows that in the first 8 months of 2025, southbound trading averaged 60.8 billion Hong Kong dollars daily, single-sided, accounting for 24.5% of the market's total, a sharp rise from less than 3% in 2015. Technically, 26,200 is a key level for the Hang Seng Index. Holding above this level could lead to a challenge of 27,000 after short-term consolidation. Falling below 26,200 may trigger further declines, testing support at 25,700. China's A-share indexes pulled back last Friday after early gains. The Shanghai Composite Index hit a high of 3,843 but closed at 3,820, down 11 points or 0.3%. The Shenzhen Component Index peaked at 13,182 but closed at 13,070, down 4 points or 0.04%. The Chinex Index reached 3,128 but closed at 3,091, down 4 points or 0.2%. Total turnover for Shanghai and Shenzhen markets was 2.3237 trillion yuan. For the week, the Shanghai Composite Index fell 1.3%, while the Shenzhen Component and Chinex rose 1.1%, 2.35% respectively. The renminbi US dollar central parity rate was lowered by 43 points to 7.1128. In Hong Kong stock news, Tencent announced an upgrade to its Hunyuan 3D AI creation engine, launching Hunyuan 3D Studio, a professional-grade AI workbench for 3D designers, game developers, and modelers. Based on the Hunyuan Polygen 3D model, the studio enhances low-poly topology functions and adds low, medium, and high face count controls to meet diverse user needs. Meituan announced an increase in its Blight Kitchen subsidy to 500 million yuan to help merchants improve kitchen transparency. Data shows that as of mid-September, 300,000 merchants, over 3,000 chain brands and 60,000 chain stores have joined the Bright Kitchen program. Meituan's earlier Million Bright Kitchens initiative introduced features like food safety diary and Bright Kitchen live streams, providing real-time kitchen updates via images and videos. Since February, 117,000 merchants have enabled Bright Kitchen live streams on Meituan, with Pin Hao Fan merchants also joining the broadcasts. China's Cyberspace Administration stated that Kuaishou and Weibo disrupted the online ecosystem by failing to fulfill content management responsibilities. The trending lists featured excessive celebrity gossip and trivial content, promoting entertainment driven tendencies. Both platforms were summoned, ordered to rectify within the deadline, warned and faced strict penalties for responsible personnel. Kuaishou and Weibo responded, committing to implement rectifications. Our stock pick today is Black Sesame, stock code 2533. Black Sesame primarily provides intelligent vehicle system on chip SoC and SoC-based autonomous driving solutions in China, as well as intelligent imaging solutions. In the first half of 2025, the group deepened collaborations with leading clients such as Geely, BYD, Dongfeng, and FAW, achieving continuous deliveries in engineering R&D for assisted driving platforms, while securing new domestic and international vehicle model destinations, with overseas destinations reaching a record high for the group. Additionally, the group has made significant progress in cross-scenario technology and business migration based on its existing assisted driving chips and solution platforms, achieving notable advancements in robotics and unmanned logistics vehicles, further enriching its commercial portfolio centered on assisted driving. In the first half of 2025, with rapid business expansion and increased mass production deliveries, the group recorded revenue of 253 million yuan, a 40.4% increase compared to the same period in 2024. This year's goal is to secure destinations and mass production partnerships with leading automakers, promoting the adoption and expansion of high compute intelligent driving chips and open leading algorithm solutions. In robotics, the group is developing a cerebellum solution based on the C1200 series chips for robot motion control and a brain solution based on the A2000 chip for perception and computing functions in intelligent robots. The group has formed a strategic partnership with a leading bipedal robot company, and through investments in robotics firms, is co-developing multi-modal perception computing modules for highly dynamic environments, advancing the ecosystem and business expansion of chips and embodied intelligence solutions. In unmanned logistics vehicles, the group with ecosystem partners has developed an L4 intelligent driving system based on its chips and proprietary laser vision integrated sensors, enabling low-speed L4 functionality in closed scenarios like ports and industrial parks, with ongoing shipments. Looking ahead, the group will actively pursue acquisitions of cost-effective, low-power AI chip companies to create deep synergies with its existing mid to high compute chip platforms. Leveraging years of accumulated assisted driving algorithm expertise, the group aims to provide a broader range of AI inference chip products and solutions for robotics and edge applications, positioning itself as a leader in the edge AI chip sector. Recommended buy price 19.8 Hong Kong dollars. Target price $22. Stop loss $18.8. I do not hold the aforementioned stock.